What's going on, everybody? It's PhDarian. Got no PhD, depends on who you ask. I got one. So today I wanted to say thanks for subscribing to my channel. For those of you who have, I've had more subscribers in the last 30 days than I've had ever. It's all off of one video that I uploaded over a year ago, and it's been getting more traction out of nowhere, and I don't know why, but hey, and that whimpering you hear is my new retirement gift. So June 30th was my last day of active duty in the military. So it's been 3 days now I've been a civilian, and I love it. And to help me celebrate that from day one was this beautiful little puppy here. So her name is Petra. So Petra is a Belgian Malinois puppy. She is 2 months old almost. And I have another one. I have an adult male. He'll be 5 in August. But she's my retirement gift to myself. Someone to help ease my transition going from active duty to civilian status and not having anything to do at the same level. Right now I'm still going in for the police department here in Virginia Beach. Matter of fact, I've got my interview in a few days. But everything else set aside, she is going to be one of the main reasons, or one of the main things on my channel. And I actually often tell people a lot who say like, hey man, fighting, shooting, and all that other stuff. And I was like, you know what? You don't always have to do your fighting. First of all, you should use this. Sometimes you need to draw the sword. Sometimes you need to, you know what I mean? And by draw the sword, I mean your firearm. Sometimes you need to be able to protect yourself with your hands. And sometimes something as cute as this little dog right here can also protect you, or at least be a deterrent for people. She doesn't sound like much of a deterrent right now, because she's clearly not. However, she will be one day. So she is my retirement gift to myself. Still smells like a dog, even though she got a bath yesterday and things like that. She picked me out of the litter. I didn't get to pick her. So you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want to either see her or see me, whichever one it is. But I wanted to talk about that is, what do you have in your tool chest outside of just guns, ammo, and maybe a couple, single leg takedowns or some stuff like that? So a dog doesn't have to be this type of dog. They're known for being police, military type dogs, but you know what I mean? Either way, she's going to be an addition to my videos and going through a lot of training with her, stuff like that. So bear with me. I'm going to start there and try and talk about other things I wanted to. But you're going to hear a lot of this whimpering right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put her in her crate for a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So you may or may not hear her sound off. She's definitely going to be loud at some points during the this video. Like, she's sounding off right now. I don't know if you can hear her or not. Hopefully not. But like I said, I've got a lot of traction specifically on this video. Your AR-15 will get you killed is the title, but then I says the original video will. And I'm dressed up like a complete clown with like 3 AR-15 pistols or something on me at the time. So yeah, I have got a lot of comments on that video for my channel size recently. A lot. And they go from everything from people who agree with me, people who disagree, and people who are indifferent or kind of neutral. They agree with some stuff, they don't with others, and that's the whole point. We don't all have, no one thinks like me except for me. And I might think about something today and tomorrow I have a completely different opinion because I was given different information or different facts, and so I'm allowed to adjust my opinion with more information. But yeah, I still stick by the video. I haven't even watched that video. Matter of fact, I won't remember what I say in this video. Not that like I just have, goldfish memory, but I know what I'm saying now. I mean it right now. And in 6 months from now or a year from now, I may have been brought more information forward or learned something else. I might change my opinion. For the most part, I'm probably not. And so 98, 99% of what I say on any video, I mean it then. I probably still mean it now. You may not agree. That's fine. I appreciate it. I actually like that. I like people who disagree. I don't like echo chambers. It gets me to understand why I have such a strong point. So one gentleman specifically is pissed off about the AR-15s and said that the founding fathers would be rolling over in their grave if they knew we had these weapons of war. And I beg to differ. They had the same weapons of war that they fought with That's the same as the British soldiers during the Revolutionary War. So yes, they did have pitchforks and stuff like that. At the time, they had to use what they had, but once they got a hold of it, everybody had a rifle. There wasn't a rifle specifically for citizens and one for military. It was the same sort of thing, muskets and all these other things. I get it. Back in the day when people had bows and arrows, slingshots or slings, there wasn't one that was like, oh, you have to have this registered by the government. Like, nope, you have a sling or you have an arrow or you're an archer, which we all have the same things. So I don't care if people don't like AR-15s. I do. Some other asshat, and I say asshat as nice as I can, was saying something about me not having ever milled out an 80% lower. And I'm not the king of mill, but I've probably have owned and milled out more 80% lowers than most people. As a matter of fact, most people don't own firearms. If you look up firearm stats given by people you discredit or you credit, whether it's the FBI, the ATF, Google, Wikipedia, whatever, I own more firearms by a lot than the average citizen. Now, you on the other side of this camera can own 2-3 times more than I do, and that's fine. I still am in the top % of people who own firearms in the world, let alone this country, because everybody knows America has the highest gun ownership than anywhere on the planet. Matter of fact, I own more firearms than police units in other countries and certain little, military platoons and brigades by myself. I own more night observation, night optics, night vision, whatever you want to call it, thermal night vision devices than other people as well. I heard certain SWAT type units and other departments locally around here in this Tidewater area where they have 3 sets of night vision goggles or 4 sets of night vision goggles for their entire SWAT raid. And if I'm like, dang, if I can kit out a small little unit with night vision, helmets, body armor, and firearms and training, I think I'm above the average gun owner. It doesn't mean I'm better than the average gun owner. The fact that I'm a combat firearms instructor, irrelevant. The fact that I've been in the military 22 years almost, irrelevant. The fact that I'm black, irrelevant. What does matter is I'm American, and I do have the freedom to do what I'd like whenever I'd like. And that's part of what I enjoy about now being retired. I could say whatever I want. It wasn't something really, how do I say it? I don't have anybody to represent other than myself. If I said something just 3 or 4 days ago, it still represented the military. Even if I say, disclaimer, this has nothing to do with the military, some people still utilize that and say, this active duty person said this. Like, well, I'm not active duty. I'm a retiree, says so on my ID card, and I'm free to say whatever I'd like. Now, I'm not going on a bash session at all. But I still don't think everything is the same as it used to be in the military. So once again, like I said, that person in the very beginning of, this conversation picking back up is absolutely thinks the founding fathers would roll over in their grave over the gun epidemic or the gun whatever in today, 2023. People used to have shotguns and guns in the back of their pickup trucks at high school back in the 60s and 70s. Probably even as far as the 80s or 90s in certain counties. I'm not sure about that, but I do remember what my father and my grandfather told me that was normal back then. They weren't having school shootings back then. They also didn't have social media back then. They didn't have people who wanted to be infamous. People who think they're going to be famous and turn out to be infamous. We also didn't have a mental health crisis as we do today. We didn't have people confused on which toilet they should use. We didn't have a lot of issues back then that we have today that people think we're more progressive or we're on the up and up. And I beg to differ and think that we're on the down slope on humanity. Even if we have new devices, new phones, and you know what I mean, something, this phone has more information in it and technology than aircraft did just 50 years ago. And I understand that, but we're in a different world today. And like I said at the beginning of this video, what do you have outside of a firearm or being able to throw a couple of punches or take a couple of punches? Are you physically fit? Do you have a pet? Is your pet your initial alarm system? Is it also I'm walking around open carrying a Belgian Malinois that's trained to do whatever I tell it to do, Now, don't get me wrong. Some people see my dog and think it looks like a police or military dog. Probably is. And that's not a bad assessment because my dog is bite trained and he will attack on command. I trained him to do that. I also have a new one. So instead of just having one dog, now I've got two. Well, I have three. I have a corgi, but whatever. Either way. So I'm back. That's my little rant / ramble. I'm going to go and post more content because I do feel like taking an absence from anything on YouTube did help me gather different perspectives of how I view things in life coming towards the end of my career. It definitely made me just sit there and think about everything, the job itself, the meaning behind it, where we are going forward as a nation, on the global scale and on just the national scale. How do we view each other? So yeah, I have a lot to unpack here. But yeah, hopefully this isn't too long of a video. Thanks for watching again. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And if you want to see more stuff when it comes to my dogs. So I will be doing training with my Belgian Malinois and I will record some of it. So there's going to be everything from night vision to optics to lasers, something a lot of people don't talk about. Although there's videos, tons of videos. It's not like every week you need to hear about lasers, but the implementation, how to tactfully employ those said things. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into my job or former job as a Navy air rescue crewman. Some people have a lot of questions about that job and it's not something that you can see answered in a 30-second video. And believe me, I know it. So either way, thanks for watching the video. Once again, hit the like and subscribe button and I'm out. Peace.